my friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you are doing well. I am feeling great today. I'm having a great day. Why not? The sun's out, birds are chirping outside. I woke up late. I got some sleep last night. I got nothing to complain about today. I should have anything to complain about any day, okay? As long as I'm waking up, there should be nothing to complain about. So, I feel good. I hope you feel good also. All right. I want to talk about today a franchise. What's a franchise? Well, it's a bunch of movies that go into each other. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, whatever. I have a box set that came in. And I want to talk about the box set. And it is the box set of, this is called Chucky, the Complete Collection. Okay? It's not complete. Okay? It's not complete. There's new movies that came out after this box set came out. But I wanted to get the box set because it's a box set. And I love collecting box sets. And I already owned Child's Play prior from Scream Factory. I think it's because they're owned by different companies that they couldn't put them all together at the same time. In this box set, unfortunately, they couldn't give you the special edition Child's Play Part 1 because Scream Factory owned the rights to it. And this is not a Scream Factory release. This is just says MGM. I don't see the company anywhere else on this thing. It just says MGM on it. So if it was Scream Factory, it would say Scream Factory, and this is not a Scream Factory release. But we're going to see what's inside of this thing today. And I also have some stories, as always. Okay, so we got the cover art. I don't want to get too close. The cover art. Here's the back. All 6 films, it says. All new. Curse of Chucky is on here. And we open it up like so. And we have a digital copy of the code, which does me no good because I don't like digital copies. I don't like streaming things. Here's the back. What you see, you got a little Chucky up front there. And you got to it tells you what shows the movies are on here, the ratings. And you have the cover of the inside. And the discs are set up like so. Okay. And you get Child's Play, Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky. And actually, Child's Play 1 actually has featurettes and feature commentaries and scene-specific Chucky commentaries and Evil comes in small packages, documentary. Actually, it has a lot of special features on Child's Play, Seed of Chucky, and Curse of Chucky. And Bride of Chucky has a few things too. Child's Play 3 has nothing, but Child's Play 3, I think this is the first time Child's Play 3 was, I'm looking over there because that's where all my Child's Play are, but this was the first time, what did I do with the cover? Oh, there it is. I put my digital copy back in there. Funny thing is, I don't use the digital copies. I don't watch the digital copies. I'm all set with watching a movie on my phone or on my tablet because that's what TVs were made for. But I like to keep them because it completes the set or whatever. So, stories behind the Chucky franchise. Child's Play 1, I watched with my daughter when she was like maybe 5, 6 years old. Okay, now I know you're thinking, oh well, that's kind of young for you to be watching that type of movie, horror movies with your kids. 5, 6 years old. You know what? I sat down and I watched the movie with my child. Okay, she never watched this by herself. I sat down and watched it with her. I explained to her right from the start that it was make-believe. I fast-forwarded past the parts that were too bloody or gory. I fast-forwarded past the parts where the language was too much that I didn't want her to hear it. You know what I mean? I watched the movie enough where I knew where these parts were. We sat down like father and daughter and watched this movie. I mean, literally on a chair, a regular chair, her sitting on my lap, watching the movie and just having a good time, okay? You can do that with your kids. You can watch a rated R movie with your kids as long as you are sitting there with your kid. Sit there with your child. Explain to them what's real and what's not real. Explain to them that what's right and what's wrong. These can be learning tools. I mean, to me, these were learning tools. And all of my kids were raised on horror movies. They loved horror movies. I love horror movies, and I want them to love what I love. So I rope them in, and we watch them together. And they were never alone watching these things. I make that extremely clear. I sat down. This was a family event. This was a sit down with my family and let's watch this together. And let me get rid of all. I almost turned it into like a TV. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a TV copy, a TV edited copy by the time I was done with it. And me and my daughter sat there. And the best thing is I'm not letting anything out of the bag. I mean, everybody knows the story of Child's Play's been around forever. I know you've seen Child's Play. At the end, they kill Chucky, okay, at the end. But, obviously, since we have 6 sequels here and then another 2 over there, whatever, obviously he comes back, but kind of like Freddy or Jason or these kind of characters. She cried her eyes out at the end. And she was like, "No, not Chucky. Is he gonna come back, Daddy? Is he gonna come?" This was like a drama to her. It was a straight up drama. I mean, so she saw him be this way through the whole movie and everything, but she thought he was just the cutest little thing, and she absolutely loved the Chucky character. And it was an awesome moment. It's a moment that now that she's in her 20s, we still bring back to family and friends and people that we run into. And every time Chucky comes up, whatever, and people are like, "Oh, Chucky scares me. I can't. I don't look at dolls the same way. I had a Cabbage Patch Kid, and I locked that in the closet after seeing Chucky." It wasn't like that. My daughter absolutely loved Chucky. She thought he was the cutest thing. She thought he was like a Care Bear. You know what I mean? It was funny and ironic but it was good family time together. It's time that we can talk about now and laugh about it. And she's got a good job. She's got a good life. She's doing good in life. It did not alter her life at all. She is not a serial killer or a mass murderer that I know of. No, she's not. But she's got a good, normal life. And I think, in a way, Chucky was like a teaching tool. I mean, difficult to explain, but to explain right from wrong, this is the wrong thing to do. A classic, great movie. Anyway, so that was the first one. That was Child's Play. Then we had Child's Play 2. This one I did not watch for my kids. This one I found to be way too graphic. I probably one of my favorites is Child's Play 2. Child's Play 3 I really enjoyed too. Child's Play 2 I skipped with the kids. There's certain movies that they're like, even to this day, they're like, we never saw that one from beginning to end. And I'm like, well, we can watch it now that you're in your teens, but back then it was just too much gore and too much language and too much violence and too much for me to even try to edit it or make it something that it wasn't. But so that's Child's Play 2. Child's Play 3, that's when I picked up again. I mean, that one is the one where Chucky ships himself, which to this day I'm still trying to figure out how he shipped himself. Okay, he literally put himself in a box, wrapped it in brown paper, and shipped himself to a military institute to go find the kid from part 1 that got him killed because he wants to, the Chucky story. He's trying to get his soul, get in his body, and he's trying to take his soul and get in his body so that he can live again from the beginning because now he's stuck in his doll's body and he's not happy being stuck in a doll's body. So he ships himself to this military academy where now that's where the kid is because he was in foster care and then he got thrown out of foster care. And I guess the last resort was a military camp of some sort, teen military school. That was a good one. I watched that one with the kids. Very enjoyable. Then we go to The Bride of Chucky. Where's we at? The Bride of Chucky. This one was a rough watch. My kids were a little bit older, but my youngest daughter was, I want to say she was close to being 4 or 5. So it's funny because we started with part 1 with my oldest daughter, and now we're with my youngest daughter, and we're starting again with the Chucky movies and everything. And this is the one with Chucky and Tiffany, and he gets married. Tiffany, something happens to her, and she gets stuck in a doll body, and now they're trying to get out of these bodies, so they're chasing around these teens and trying to possess their bodies so that they can live in their bodies a long life together, and they're in love and everything. And my daughter was obsessed with Tiffany. Loved Tiffany. It was like she was like her idol. She loved the way she dressed. She loved the way she talked. I mean, it was, we would go into Spencer Gifts and they had the Tiffany doll there, and she was like, "Oh, That's all she wanted. Well, I want a Tiffany doll. I want a Tiffany doll. I'm like, no, you're not getting a Tiffany doll. It was like 80, $90 at the time. Like, you're not getting a $90 doll. I mean, it was life size. It was $90. Plus, it's a Tiffany doll. I'm like, you're going to walk the streets. They're going to think I'm a crazy father for letting you walk around with a Chucky and Tiffany doll. You know what I mean? But she's like, oh, can I get, that's all I want for Christmas, Daddy, is just a Tiffany doll. It's all I want. It's all I want. Well, Daddy broke down. Christmas comes, and the funny thing is my daughter, we put the cookies out for Santa Claus, and we go to bed, and she snuck downstairs and she ate Santa's cookies. So Christmas morning comes, and the thing with this and Santa Claus and everything is Santa Claus isn't going to buy your kid a horror movie prop doll for $89. I wasn't going to ask Santa Claus for that. That was, and I made that very clear to my daughter. I'm like, Santa Claus doesn't bring those kind of things. Santa Claus brings joy and happiness things or whatever. You want a train set, you'll get a train set. You want a Barbie doll, you get a Barbie doll. But possessed dolls, he's not going to bring that. Christmas time comes, she opens up all her gifts. They're flying around, and they had gifts. I mean, I would easily spend $2,000-$3,000 every Christmas. The gifts went from the tree to the couch to around the corner to into the living room, and then I would put some in the kitchen. I mean, they were everywhere. Okay, and my kids were extremely spoiled at that age and everything. And I remember she opened up all the presents, every single one of the presents, and then I'm like, "What's the matter, baby?" You can see the face just dropped. It went from pure joy and happiness to like, And I'm like, what's the matter, honey? What's going on? What's the matter, sweetheart? Come here. And she comes walking over, the cutest little thing. Okay, my youngest daughter, she was a doll herself. I mean, all my daughters were absolute dolls. They had these big cheeks and smiles and faces, and just you want to just grab them and hold them. They were just all dolls. But she comes over, and this one was like a prima donna type. She was a 5-year-old, like a 20-year-old, and stuck in a 5-year-old's body. She was just like she dressed like she was gonna walk the red carpet. I mean, even Christmas morning, she's getting in this cheetah outfit. She got like cheetah pants and this silk cheetah pants with like a silk cheetah top, and I think it was cheetah. She wanted to watch the video and get, that wasn't cheetah, it was leopard or whatever. Cheetah, leopard, whatever. It had spots on it. And she comes over, and a little curly hair, and cheeks out to here, and I'm like, what's the matter? I ate Santa's cookies, and I didn't get my dolly, and to this day, we still talk to her about that. We still bring it up. We have video footage of it. So it was just priceless. And I was like, all right, sweetheart. I mean, maybe that, I'm sure Santa's not mad because you ate his cookies. I'm sure you're gonna get your dolly. Maybe he just didn't want to give it to you now. Yeah, okay. But all the stuff's piled up around. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars worth of stuff. But she wanted this one Tiffany doll, and so I'm like, we get done unwrapping everything. I'm like, well, why don't you go check behind that chair over there? I think I see something poking out from behind the chair. And she goes over, she grabs the wrapper thing, and she opens it up. I believe it was behind the chair. It was behind the tree. It was stuff. It was tucked, okay? It was like, so she couldn't get it initially. She had to wait till the very end because I wanted to see her reaction, because I knew that this was the toy. This was going to be the smile, the cries, the happiness, or whatever. She opened up this doll, and it was like love at first. She loved this doll. The doll's still here in the house. The hair, of course, a mess. It's been stripped I don't know how many times. So the jackets, I think the socks are missing. Luckily, I already own 2 or 3 myself, so I have the originals, and I buy toys like that, like especially the ones that my kids were absolutely in love with. I mean, I have a toy from pretty much any toy that they were like in love with as kids, because when they become adults, which most of them are adults now, but when they have families of their own, or when I pass or whatever the situation, I want to be able to give them those toys back, like brand new, factory sealed, in the box. Here you go. I'm handing you back your memories. I'm handing you back the things that made me happy. I'm handing you back something that is special to me because it reminds me so much of you, and hopefully it will remind you of me in that time. So I want my life and to be timeless. I want them to always remember, the good times and the bad times. You learn from your bad times, so you need to remember everything, but I want them to remember more good than bad. I reflect on my childhood, I remember more bad. That's just me. I don't know if that's an optimistic, pessimistic, glass half full, glass half empty thing. I don't. That maybe that's just me. But I look back at it, and even though I had a pile of toys all around the house, I probably would have gave it all up for a hug. You know what I mean? That's just me and the way I feel right now in my life. You know what I mean? It's like I wish that I would have had these bonding experiences like I have with my kids, with my parents. You know what I mean? And it just sometimes things would happen, and sometimes the things were really good, and sometimes things were really, really bad. But I remember more bad than good, and I want them to have these physical objects to be able to pick up, and just some things when you just put your hands on them, hold them, look at them, they just bring back memories. Like the floodgate opens, and you have these awesome memories of these amazing times, and that's what this doll will probably do to my daughter years after. My oldest daughter had these Barbie dolls, and she would sing this song all the time.
Barbie, you can change our hair, purple, pink, or blue, and what we wear, different looks to choose.
Barbie, make her hair, make it pink or blue, Barbie. And it's like, it was literally a Barbie doll, and you flipped its head around, and it would have like blonde hair, and you flipped its head around, and it would have like blue hair. You know what I mean? But she would sing that song all the time. Barbie, make its hair pink or blue. He's Barbie.
You can change our hair, purple, pink, or blue.
And I have a set of those, factory steeled, ready to give her when I feel she is ready to have those things. You know what I mean? It's going to be a pleasant surprise, and she's going to have them, hold them, see them, and the memories are going to come back. I got something like that with all of my children. Every single one of my children, I have something like that. And you might look at them as a collection of purchases or whatever, but everything has a memory. When I start to go into my toys part of these videos, I take you on my trips to my toy rooms. I'll kind of recap on this stuff and tell you the stories behind it, how I got them, where I got them, when I got them, kind of like a show and tell. All right, next movie on here is The Seed of Chucky, which kids were already older. They were already in their teens. I was at the point where, okay, well, they've seen it all already now, so I'll be able to throw this out there. They watched it. Seed of Chucky is like a comedy. This is when the son shows up. This is when but the son doesn't know if he's a boy or if he's a girl, and the mother's treating him like he's a girl, so he's Glinda, and the father wants him to be a boy, so he's Glenn. That one was like a comedy. It was just Chucky had jumped the shark and gone from horror movie to comedy. It was just straight up funny. It was funny. That's a funny movie. Okay, you put it on and you laugh, and you're confused, and the CGI of the puppets. Yeah, I think they were puppets. Some of them were puppets. Some of them were CGI running and everything. It's just hilarious. It's a funny movie, and the family enjoyed it. That was an enjoyable family one. Then we came with the last one, which was the last one on this set, because they had the remake that came out, and I think there's one more after this. I'm probably wrong, right? I don't know. Comment below if I'm missing on one of these things. But The Curse of Chucky. This one confused even me. I watched it with my youngest daughter, who is now 18 years old. And we got in, like maybe 15 into the movie. There was a scene in it that made me feel uncomfortable, made her feel uncomfortable. I can't remember anything else about the movie. I'm going to have to go back and revisit it so I can store it in that memory bank of Chucky movies, because I do love Chucky and the franchise. He is he's in the top 10 of my favorite horror movie characters. Number one being Leatherface, and then we got the Jasons, the Michael Myers, who else do I got that? Tall Man from Phantasm, Pinhead from Hellraiser, Pennywise, their original Pennywise, Tim Curry. But they did something. I actually even like the remake, when they did the reboot of Chucky. The whole family, including my son-in-law, we all went to see the reboot in the movie theater. So Chucky has been a part of my kids' lives since they were like 5. Okay, they have loved these movies. They have laughed about these movies. They have enjoyed these movies. We watched them together as families. There's a ton of good memories in these movies, and they are enjoyable. They still hold up. There's some movies you put in, they don't hold up. Chucky movies Chucky movies hold up. They hold up with time. I could put part 1 in today, watch it from beginning to end, and enjoy it. I could put any of these in from watching from beginning to end and enjoy them. They hold up. The CGI holds up. The computer generated stuff. The animatronics hold up. The storylines hold up. Everything holds up. These are just perfect horror movies. If you want to get started with your kids and watching horror movies and you feel like they are appropriate age, you sit down and watch it with them and explain things with them. These are the way to go. I mean, not only are they going to, depending on how your kids are, it's either going to scare them or they're going to fall in love with these characters. My kids fell in love with them. They just adored Chucky and his family. They just adored them. They thought that they were the greatest thing. They thought they were so funny and so cute and cuddly, and they wanted one, and they would love to hold them. I mean, I remember my daughter one time going into Spencer Gifts, and somebody had braided Chucky's hair. She was so mad. She's like, "Look what they did to Chucky! Look what they did, Daddy! Daddy, look at him!" And I'm like, I looked up at him. He's got a pigtail on one side, pigtail on the other, and she was just furious. She was like, "He ain't gonna like that," you know. It's like, I was like, no, if this stuff was real, these Spencer Gifts people would not be on this earth right now, because Chucky definitely would have got them at around closing time. But great movie, great memories. The Chucky franchise, if you don't have it, I can't recommend it any higher. I mean, if you're a Freddy fan, a Leatherface fan, a Jason fan, a Michael Myers fan, a Tall Man fan, a Hellraiser, Pinhead fan, if you're a Puppet Master fan, Puppet Master I have a hard time with. I have the complete suitcase set or whatever, but they're a tough watch. This flows so good. I mean, it's such a classic horror movie. They all are. I mean, except for the last, the Curse of, which is the only one I had a problem with, only because the storyline was kind of, they tried to bend thing out and make it different than what the other ones were about. It was just multiple Chuckies. You know, I'm not trying to give too much away, but it was. I got to revisit it before I'm not going to badmouth it, because I love Chucky. I love the Chucky franchise, and I probably will enjoy this movie if I watch it again and maybe try to understand it. But it was a thinker. That's what the problem is. The rest of these movies are just straight. But the Curse, like I say, I gotta keep looking at it because see, that's how bad my memory is. The Curse was a thinker. You had to actually think about it. Maybe I like my Chucky movie straightforward. Possessed doll, looking for a human body so he can probably stop killing again as a human. Great movie. And Brad Dourif. Let me make sure because I mean, I'm such a fan. I should know that it's definitely Brad Dourif. I'm gonna go with Brad Dourif. If it's not, I'm gonna change it. But Brad Dourif. Originally, I saw him in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He has been one of my favorite character actors. Voice of Chucky. I mean, Mark Hamill, I think did the new Chucky. He did a great job too. But Brad Dourif as this character. Brad Dourif just is an awesome horror movie actor, regular actor. Like I said, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he was great in. I'm looking over here again because I'm trying to refresh my memory. Stephen King horror movie, Graveyard Shift. He played the exterminator in there. Awesome. Alien Part 3. No, Alien Part 4. He was in that also. Awesome. Brad Dourif, he's the voice of Chucky in all of these movies except for, I think, The Curse. He might be the voice in The Curse, too. I got to research a little bit. Great movies. So, if you haven't seen them, watch them. Watch them first before you watch them with your kids, so you know. Familiarize yourself. I had already watched the first Child's Play probably about 20 times before I watched it with my kids. You know what I mean? I knew where to stop the video. I knew where to hit pause. I knew where to fast forward. I knew where everything was that was going to make me feel. If I have that feeling in my throat, yeah, you get that feeling when you're with your kids and you're watching something that's inappropriate. And it's like a dirty, rotten feeling. Like, you know, they shouldn't be watching this. This is going to mess them up. You know what I mean? If you watch it and you have that feeling in yourself, then you know not to watch that movie with your kids like that. Don't watch it at all. Or fast forward it to the better part. If you use your best judgment. These are your kids. You know, use your best judgment. Watch it with them. I know some parents that would easily plop one of these movies in, plop their kid in front of the TV, and walk away. I know how I know that? I was that kid. I did not watch this with my father and have that special moment or whatever. He bought it for me on VHS. gave it to me. I put it in. I watched it, and I had to figure out on my own what was right and what's wrong. Did it scare me? No, it didn't. It didn't scare me because I was a little bit older, and I understood that it was, animatronics and puppets and everything like that. But it still would have been nice to have a partner or a moment or whatever to sit down and watch this movie together. You know what I mean? It just didn't happen. So that's why it's so important to me to have these kind of things with my kids. And my toy room is filled with Chucky's, Tiffany's, Glenn or Glinda, talking ones, walking ones, moving ones that chop, ones that eyes blink. Okay, I am, is the word obsessed with Chucky? I wouldn't say I'm obsessed, but he's one of my favorite characters, so you got to have everything from Chucky. So, Chucky franchise, I recommend it absolutely highly. That's the end of my show for today, my vlog for today, my review for today. Anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you later.